Hi guys, some of you guys are probably wondering why you guys had to go through a link to watch this. I decided to not leave everybody in the dark. Um, the reason why you guys have been, I'll put it this way, chosen, is because you guys have been supportive throughout the whole miscarriage. By sending me, some of you guys have sent me private messages, some of you guys have commented on videos, some of you guys have actually chatted with me on Facebook. Which I'm going to include the link to the fan page on Facebook where you guys can see more of what's going on. But we decided, as of right now, that we are going to try right away. And just a little update from the DNC. As you guys know, I have had, I've just had spotting. That's all I've had. So it's like this whole process, even with the DNC, seemed like a dream. Like, I still feel like the DNC was a dream. Even though, no matter how much pain I was in, which was very painful. But it was more emotionally painful than it was really physical, but it still seemed like a dream. But finally, this morning, I was passing really good sized clots. And I talked to my friend who is an OB. Well, she's finishing up to be an OB. Because I know before, she's almost an OB. She's got, I think, another month left of her residency, and then she's an OB. So I talked to her, and I told her what was going on, and she said, as a friend, she'd say try again. And she's like, and that's with the knowledge that she has. But as an OB, she said she would say wait a cycle. She's like, if you guys get pregnant, don't panic. And of course, she did ask about if they're checking my levels, and I told her, yeah, they're still checking my levels until, I don't know. I am going to ask them if we can keep an eye on them until they go back to 0. Granted, I know if I get pregnant, they're not going to go back to 0. But I want to know so that way when I take a pregnancy test, I know. The hard part, though, about this cycle is going to be that I can't use really OPKs. I'm going to still use them here and there, but they don't really work because I will show you. These are, the top one is from Thursday, which was the day of the DNC, and the bottom one is from yesterday. Yeah, they're positive. I know I'm not ovulating. So you guys might go, why did you even do them? Because I was hoping if they came out negative, then I knew my HTC levels were low. Honestly. So I go Thursday for my blood work to see, well, Thursday morning. So I'll give you guys an update probably either Thursday night or Friday morning, where my levels were. Because I know some of you guys are going to be very curious about, where the levels are. But it's been a little hard for me right now, just because it's that, if we try and I get pregnant, I've been worried about, you hear the horror stories of, oh, they have another miscarriage, and speaking with my friend, because I do trust her, and she said, well, what did your doctor say? Well, she's like, exactly what was her wording? Because she's like, you can kind of read between the lines. I said, well, her thing was nothing in there for a week. But we'd be all set to try again in that I'll ovulate in 2 weeks, and that I should start trying next cycle. And she's like, you can read between the lines. She said, typically when they feel that you really should not get pregnant. She said there's cases where you shouldn't. She's like, we say no sex for a month. Nothing. Because she's like, let's put it this way. Condoms can break. She's like, the pull-out method, she said, can sometimes be faulty. She's like, so we tell them no sex for the first month. So she's like, sometimes their wording, she's like, when we really know, she's like, that's how we say it. She's like, and she's been in a couple DNCs, and she said that's, you know, she's heard the wording from the same doctor, put the two different ways. So she said it's a little frustrating because she's like, you would, she's like, but don't, she's like, basically meaning if we should get pregnant, don't panic. But, and like she said, she's like, I wouldn't really try in the sense of, she's like, using OPKs and temping and everything like that. She's like, your numbers are going to be way off this month. She's like, until you go to 0. She's like, once you hit 0, she's like, then you can try. Once your HCC levels hit 0, she's like, then using all the tools will help, because she's like, you won't get positives. So that's pretty much it. So I'm going to label this our private TTC, because like I said, some of you guys have been allowed into this because of, you guys are very supportive, and I know that you guys are going to be anxiously awaiting me to take a pregnancy test. And with that being said, because of what I've gone through, it's changed the way I was thinking. I was always want to get me into the doctor right away and, test as early as possible. I guess I've learned that no matter, if you're pregnant, it doesn't matter if you find out on day 6, 6 days before your period, or if you find out, the day your period's due. It doesn't change. There's nothing the doctors can do to help you if you're going to have a miscarriage. There's really nothing they can do to help you until, you're 24 weeks. And even then, there's not much that they can do. So even I was always I want to be seen right away. Don't want to wait, And I've talked with my daughter's physician, because he was the one that wanted the early stuff done, and I said, thank you for, your concern, but if there's twins and I lose one, then I'd rather not even know. And if they're, if I have a miscarriage, an early miscarriage, I just, basically I don't want to go through the roller coaster that I just did for the 2 weeks. So even that's my advice to anybody out there. I know everybody wants to test early, but you don't want to, detecting a chemical pregnancy is just as annoying as having a miscarriage, because it leaves you with all those questions. So my advice to anybody is really wait until your period's due, then test. I know it's hard, but I don't think until you actually have, a later miscarriage that you kind of really look at things a little bit differently and you go, I'll hold off. So, with that being said, I probably will not test until, I think, well, depending on my level. So I'll give you guys a date. Right now we're looking at March 1st, which, if I should be pregnant, I will be 6 weeks pregnant. I know it's a little late, but so I will give you guys an update as soon as I have something to update you guys on. And thank you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.